जय राधा माधव कुंज विहारी जय राधा माधव कुंज विहारी जय गोपी जन वल्लभ गिरिवरधारी जय गोपी जन वल्लभ गिरिवरधारी यशोदानंदन ब्रज जन रंजन यशोदानंदन ब्रज जन रंजन जमुना तेरा वनचारी जमुना तेरा वनचारी जय राधा माधव कुंज विहारी जय राधा माधव कुंज विहारी जय गोपी जन वल्लभ गिरिवरधारी जय गोपी जन वल्लभ गिरिवरधारी यशोदानंदन ब्रज जन रंजन यशोदानंदन ब्रज जन रंजन जमुना तेरा वनचारी जमुना तेरा वनचारी जय राधा माधव कुंज विहारी जय राधा माधव कुंज विहारी जय राधा माधव जय राधा माधव राधा माधव जय राधा माधव जय गौरा निताई जय गौरा निताई गौरा निताई जय गौरा निताई जय जय प्रभुपाद 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 विष्णुपाद परमहंस परिव्राजकाचार्यष्टोत्तर शतशिष्यमात् अभयचरण अरविंद भक्ति वेदांत स्वामी श्री प्रभुपाद की इस्कॉन ब्यूटी फाउंडर आचार्य डिवाइन ग्रेस श्री प्रभुपाद की अनंत कोटि वैष्णव वृंद की श्री जगन्नाथ बलदेव सुभद्रा महारानी की श्री गौर निताय की समवेत गौर भक्त वृंद की हरिनाम संकीर्तन की निताय गौर प्रेमानंद ऑल ग्लोरी सुदास मुलगोरीज ऑल ग्लोरी सुदास मुलगोरीज ऑल ग्लोरी सुदास मुलगोरीज ऑल ग्लोरीज गुरु एंड गौरांग ऑल ग्लोरीज टू श्रील प्रभुपाद। ओम ज्ञानतिमिरान्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुषुन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। श्रीचैतन्यमनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूप कदा मह्यं ददाति स पदान्तिकं। वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरं श्रीयुतपदकमलं श्रीगुरुं वैष्णवांश्च श्रीरूपं साग्रजातं सहगना रघुनाथान्वितं तं सजीवं साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजनसहितं कृष्ण चैतन्यदेवं श्रीराधा कृष्णपादं सहगना ललिता श्रीविशाखान्वितांश्च नमो विष्णुपादाय कृष्णप्रेष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदांत स्वामिनिति नामिने नमस्ते सरस्वती देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्य देशतारिणे वंशाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्यैव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। नमो महावदन्नाय कृष्ण प्रेम प्रदायते कृष्णाय कृष्ण चैतन्य नाम्ने गौरतिष्ठे नमः। हे कृष्णा करुणा सिंधु दीनबंधु जगतपते गोपेश गोपिका कांत राधा कांत नमस्तुते। तप्त कांचन गौरांगी राधे वृंदावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवासादि गौर भक्त वृंद। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। मुखम कृति वाचलम पंगुल्लंघयते गिरिं तत्कृपातमहं वंदे श्री गुरुदिनतारिणं परमानंद माधवम श्री चैतन्य। Hare Krishna. Welcome to the afternoon program. Very interesting time. Pre-lunch session. So, how many of you are happy? Okay. You're not happy? At least somebody is there in my side. Okay. So today's topic is very interesting topic. From Bhoga to Yoga. So these two terms are very interesting in our life and it is very commonly used. Yoga is not an Indian word anymore. It's an universal word. Wherever you go, people talk about yoga. They may have different understanding, but they have the information about yoga and they know the word yoga. So human life is very, very rare, little different from other species of life. Not little different. Lot of difference is there. Significantly different. Why? Because we can do something more than eating, sleeping, mating and defending. We can go beyond these temptations of the senses. We have our active mind, we have self-intelligence, and we have also our high level of consciousness. But other species of life, they go by instinct. They are happy with that. They don't analyze so much. If they are hungry, they get food. And by eating that, they are happy. So there is no complaint, oh, this food is not tasty, salt is less, sugar is more. All these complaints are in human species. They get the food and they are happy with that. Then they sleep. There is no complaint because they cannot go beyond their sensual instincts. But a human being has much higher level of consciousness. That's why we have some higher responsibility, and also we have some higher things to experience in life beyond eating, sleeping, meeting and defending. So bhoga is called enjoyment, right? Meaning of bhoga. So all of us want to enjoy. There is nothing wrong to enjoy. Rather, that is the natural situation, natural constitutional position of all of us to enjoy life. The problem is not there. Problem is people don't have knowledge how to enjoy. We all want to be happy. And some of you, many of you raised your hand and also told that you are happy already. If someone is not happy, Krishna is telling in Bhagavad Gita how to become happy. If someone is happy, they can become happier. If someone is happier, they can become happiest. If someone is happiest, they can become the happiest. So there is no limit of happiness because it's an experience, it's not a product. So to experience happiness, we need to focus on certain things. We think that external situations, if we change our external situation, we can be happy. And most of the people in this world are very busy in changing or upgrading their external situations, right? We want to upgrade our job. If you are in a small company, you want to go to a big company. If you are in a low position, you want to go to high position. If you are earning less salary, then you want to earn more salary. Right? That is a natural tendency. Somebody will know, मेरे को promotion नहीं, demotion मिलना चाहिए. People say like that, I want demotion in company. Nobody wants that. Because we have conviction and strong belief system that by upgrading our external situations in this life, we will be happy. Upgradation of our salary, upgradation of our facility to stay, 1 BHK to 2 BHK to 3 BHK, 4 BHK, number of BHK increasing, right? And thinking that our happiness will increase, right or wrong? Increasing the bedrooms, we are thinking that our happiness will increase. That's why they increase bedrooms, no? But happiness does not come from bedrooms. It comes from the partner you are living with. You may upgrade your rooms, but you are not supposed to upgrade your life partner, right? The life partner remains the same, but nowadays that is also available. But generally, we are staying with the same person. We may upgrade our bedrooms, but we cannot upgrade our life by that. So that is the flaw in our understanding. Now we can upgrade our car, bike, then car, two-wheeler to four-wheeler, from Maruti to BMW, still BMW. Then which is more costlier, BMW or Mercedes-Benz? Mercedes. Then after BMW, Mercedes. After that, Rolls-Royce is the top. We'll go at the end. So in between Lamborghini, then Ferrari. So in that way we upgrade our cars, and ultimately the perfection of life is Rolls-Royce. But if you are in Bangalore, whether you are in Maruti or Innova or BMW or Mercedes or Lamborghini or Ferrari or Rolls-Royce, road remains the same. So road is the same, traffic situation is the same. It's not that as soon as you are riding in a Lamborghini car, the traffic, everything will be green light. It's nothing going to change. Everything will be the same. Life is not going to change by upgrading your car. Now we are very fascinated with our garments, clothes, right? Brand. I don't want to go into detail about that, but whether you are wearing a very highly popular branded shirt or you are having a simple t-shirt, you look the same, because you are not, by changing your clothes, you are not going to change your look. Right or wrong? So actually, by upgrading our externals, we are not able to upgrade our life, which is beyond our capacity to change. So material life is meant to upgrade our externals, because we have the belief system by doing that we will be happier. But human form of life is meant to upgrade our internal system. That is the purpose of human form of life. Happiness is nothing external. Happiness is not a product. Happiness is an experience within. Happiness does not come from external situations. Happiness comes by how we handle the external situations. That's why internal value system is very, very important in order to experience happiness in life. Because externals are beyond our control. Anything can happen in our life. It is beyond our control. But what is within our control? How we respond to that external situation. That is within our control. And the quality of our response depends on our quality of life. That's why we need to have internal value system, which is not visible. Invisible potency within gives us the stability or ability to handle the external situations of life. So we are focused on externals, and that is known as Bhoga. Enjoying the sense object with the senses. That is called Bhoga. But yoga is an internal process. Internal connections. What is the meaning of yoga? Yoga means to connect. Bhoga is also connection. We cannot experience anything unless we connect. When we connect the senses with the sense objects, that is called Bhoga. And when we connect the spirit soul, our real identity with the supreme soul, that is called yoga. Both are connections. So there are advantage and disadvantage, or different kinds of experiences through that connection. Krishna speaks in Bhagavad Gita, Jai samasparsaja bhoga dukkha jana evate ardantavanta konteyo natesu ramate buddha. So Krishna explains in Bhagavad Gita that where miseries or dukkha, distress is born, birthplace of miseries, where is that? Where the senses and sense objects are united. Jai samasparsaja bhoga dukkha jana evate. And who is intelligent? Adantavanta konteyo natesu ramate buddha. Who is an intelligent person? Who does not try to get happiness out of that activity. He is intelligent. So what is the symptom of intelligence? Who does not try to be happy externally. Who doesn't try to be happy by external connection. Who does not try to be happy by using their senses. What is intelligence? Intelligence means to go little deeper. Human life means to go into deep. Just like in order to experience real essence of an ocean, If you stay on the surface, you will not get any experience, because only you will get waves. So material life is like waves of the ocean. That is going to disturb us only. But spiritual life is going deeper into the ocean, where there are jewels, gems, valuables are there. So in the same way, human form of life is meant to dive into the deep aspect of life, which is the spirituality, which is the connection with the divine. So that connection will give us the real happiness, which is deep in nature. So that's why human form of life is not meant to enjoy like other species of life. Sense enjoyment. So human form of life begins with a training. There is no training system in animal form of life. There is no training. Because to enjoy senses, you don't need training. Right? How to enjoy sex life, how to eat, how to do this, how to do that. This does not need any training. Eating, sleeping, mating, defending does not need training. That is our natural instinct. But human life begins with a training. At the age of 5, human life begins with a training. That is known as student life. We go to the school. In Vedic system, that was known as Gurukula. Guru means teacher, spiritual teacher. Gurukula means where the spiritual teacher teaches us. So you may think, oh, why is needed? Because education is the foundation of our life. Training, if we are not properly trained, then we cannot be having a successful life. That's why in your job also you go through a lot of training, right or wrong? Everywhere. In order to be successful in any field, we have to go through training. In the same way, in order to be successful in our human journey in the human form of life, we must have some training as a student. So what is the basic training in that student life? One is internal, other one is external. Both are important. Life is all about balance. If you don't have a balance, then we cannot be successful. So there is a balance in our training. The first is sense control. Rather, instead of telling control, we should say regulating our senses, regulating our life. That is the first aspect of training, external. And second one is internal, attitude. There is a training of attitude also. Because attitude ultimately matters. Value. What is the value? What is taught in our training as a student in Vedic culture? Obedience. That is a fundamental training. Obedience. Service attitude. That is the two major aspect of training in our student life. So why sense control or sense regulation is needed? Because regulated life gives you happiness. People have different idea. Oh, if you have uncontrolled sense gratification, you will be happy. Right or wrong? That's why people don't like restrictions. Especially the students, youth of India, youth of the world. They don't like to hear any restrictions. As soon as you say you don't do this, they will do it on a priority basis. Right or wrong? That is the nature. So, we need to have some training for that. So, why regulation is needed? Because regulation gives you good experience. Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita, Yukta hara viharasya yukta chestasya karmasu yukta sabna babadasya yoga bhavati dukkhaha. So in order to experience happiness, you have to be free from miseries. So this verse of Bhagavad Gita explains how we can be free from miseries. Dukkha ha. All our miseries will go away. How? If we regulate our life. Regulated in eating, regulated in recreation, other activities of life. When you regulate ourselves, then what will happen? Our miseries will go away and we will experience happiness. But people don't have this idea. That's why they want to have unrestricted sense enjoyment. When Srila Prabhupada went to America in 1965, the youth of America became hippies, not happies. Why they become hippie? Because they are enjoying too much. Super unrestricted life. In India, you have some social restriction, but America is known for its liberty. You do whatever you like to do. You can have sex with anyone provided others are not disturbed. If you don't disturb anyone, you can do whatever you want to do. I don't want to go into detail. You understand what I am talking about. Okay? So they are having ample opportunities without any effort. For their enjoyment, they don't have to work because they are filthy rich. So they have a lot of money. They have a lot of facilities. Whatever you can think of, everything was available. And they are trying to enjoy those things to the highest extent. And at the end, what they became? They became hippie. Why? You should be happy, no? That is the slogan. If you have your facilities, you will be happy. People of India, they think, oh, we are not having money. That's why आनंद नहीं मिल रहा है. पैसा मिल जाएगा तो आनंद मिल जाएगा, है कि नहीं? India is poor. That's why we should become rich. So there was a survey done a few years back. People from which country is happy? So survey revealed the happiness of America and Europe was very low scale. And with your great surprise, people of Bangladesh was the happiest people from that survey. Then you may think, oh, to become poor, we will be happy. By becoming poor, to become poor is the goal of our life. We start thinking like that. That is also not reality. Having money or not having money is not the source of our happiness. You have to realize that. So happiness is not dependent on your external situations. You can be the richest man on the planet but not happy. You can be the poorest man on the planet, can be happy. It does not depend on your financial situation. Happiness is something beyond that. So here Krishna is telling that when we have regulation in life, regulated life. What is the meaning of regulation? Do it, but do it in a regulated way. Just like if you sleep too much, then you become lazy. And if you sleep too less, you become crazy. And nowadays, world is filled with two kinds of people, lazy and crazy people. Why? Because they don't have a regulated life. That's why we don't have to sleep too less or too much. We have to have regulated sleep. Regulation. If you eat too much, disease. If you eat too less, disease. That's why we have to have regulated. But some people eat so much. So somebody said, one young boy said, I am a light eater. People are so happy, light eater. What is the meaning of light eater? As long as there is light, I eat. So, we don't have to be light eater like that. There is nothing beneficial to be a light eater. We have to be a regulated person. We should not eat too much and we should not eat too less. So in this way, every aspect of life should be regulated. This is called sense control. Just like in order to fly, the aircraft needs to be regulated. Right? Everything has to be regulated. Unless it is regulated, you cannot fly. So regulation is very, very important. Balance and regulation. Just like a car, it has 4 wheels. If the 4 wheels are not balanced properly, the car cannot move. In the same way, in order to move in our human form of life, we have to be regulated, balanced. That is the first aspect of training. So it's clear to you?
Yes.
So regulation is needed or not?
Yes.
Just like for a student, now you are working. For a student, if you study regularly, you become the topper. Right or wrong? If you are regular, you will be happy. There are 3 kinds of students. I always give this example. 2 kinds of people, 2 kinds of students are very happy. Who are those? First category, those who regularly go to the classes. Every day. All the classes. Take all the notes. Regularly revise. Practice it. And before the exam, ready. So he is happy. No tension. There is another category of student, they are happier. They are also very regular. Never went to the class. Okay, very regular. Never took any notes, never studied. So they are also very happy, happier than the first category of student. And they have a philosophy in their life also. High philosophy. He said, why you don't study? He said, we have faith that even Krishna cannot, Lord cannot help us to pass. So why to study? So then what to do? He said, we have a philosophy. Coming into the college is our duty. Taking out of the college is college authority's duty. So they are happy, regular. But who has problem? In between. Went to some classes, took some notes before the exam, lot of Xerox notes, this and that going on, tension, anxiety, because he did not have regulated life. In the same way, in every aspect of life, if you are regulated, you experience anxiety-free life, you experience happiness. So therefore, regulating our senses is very, very important. That's why this training is given from the age of 5 to 25 in Vedic system of education, which is known as Brahmacharya. People get shocked by hearing this word, Brahmacharya. What is this? This is the student life. Brahmacharya life means student life. We have to study. We have to learn. What is the purpose of education? Purpose of education is to build our character. That is purpose of education. So how we can have a good character? When we regulate our life properly. When senses are regulated, then slowly we can build our good character. And the second aspect, the inner aspect, the internal aspect is very, very important. That is, we learn obedience. Follow the higher authorities. This mood is very, very important. That is a common aspect of human form of life. Just like a child has to follow the instruction of his parents, a student has to follow the instruction of his teachers. In the same way, that culture of obedience is very, very important. It's a foundational principle of human form of life. Why the modern day society is in big chaos? Because nobody cares anybody. Right? Don't care. We are in our own world. So therefore, people cannot experience happiness. That's why people cannot stay together. Because we don't care anybody. In a relationship, is built with this fundamental principle of obedience. Somebody has to act in a humble way. If everybody becomes egoistic, then there is no question of any good experience in life. And that's what exactly happening in the modern society. Everybody is too egoistic. I am right. Everybody is trying to establish that how he or she is right and others are wrong. But in our training in Vedic system, we are trained in a totally different way. Modern society, the education system is that you gather information, input, output, right or wrong. But spiritual life means not information, transformation. Our heart has to be transformed. We have to build our character. Character building is the fundamental principle of education. So nowadays that is not the principle. Even I was taught by my father, by teachers, that if money is lost, nothing is lost. If health is lost, something is lost. But if character is lost, everything is lost. But now it has become completely opposite. If character is lost, nothing is lost. If health is lost, something is lost. But if money is lost, everything is lost. I like to change the slogan further. Why to lose character? There is no character what to lose. We don't have any character only. So how to lose the character? We don't have any character. Characterless. From the childhood, we are trained not to have good character. Right or wrong? Do whatever you like to do. And you know what you like to do. And that's why our life is very wonderful. We want to be happy, but we don't want to have any principles in life. It's not going to work. It's not working. You can have all the facilities. You are having all the valuables. Whatever you are thinking, maybe good mobile phone, the most upgraded model, most upgraded laptops, most fancy car, most expensive branded clothes, most posh bungalow in the most prestigious place of India or in America. Then life is happy. You feel like that? ऐसा होता है? होता नहीं. So in order to experience happiness, you have to have relationships. Yoga teaches that. Build relationship. How? We have to build relationship, our original relationship with the Supreme Lord. We are the spirit, soul, part and parcel of the Supreme Lord. So first relationship building means we have to connect with the Supreme Lord. Because that is our original relationship. Jiver Swarupay Krishner Nityadas. The original constitutional position of every living entity is that we are the part and parcel of the Supreme Lord. If that connection is not established, we cannot experience any happiness in life. So that is the purpose of yoga. That is the purpose of brahmacharya training. That is the purpose of education. To connect our life to the Supreme Lord. And as long as we are in this body, we have to regulate our life in such a way so that we can have a wonderful journey in this body. Because when we have regulation, then journey will be wonderful. But if we don't have regulation in our life, the journey will be full of anxiety, tribulations, miseries, turmoils. But when we have strong belief system, even if the big tribulations in our life will not be affected because we are very strong internally. Then we can face any challenge. Nowadays, people cannot face any big challenge. I was hearing someone was telling that someone committed suicide. Why? Because he became the second in the last semester. Because all other semester he was the number one. See? This is life. So superficial, hollow. Because there is no higher purpose in life. Because they are not trained. They are not educated properly. That's why simple things cannot be handled. But those who are very strong internally, internal stability gives the ability to handle our situations in life. So that's why we need that kind of training. And that training is very, very significant in our human form of life. Because without foundation, training is the foundation. If a building is built without strong foundation, there is a big possibility of building to be collapsed. So why our human society is collapsing? Because this human society has no foundation. And what is that foundation? Training. The training of brahmacharya, training of celibacy, training of sense control, training of obedience, training for building character, training for developing spirituality. So this training is very, very important. And when we have a strong foundation, then building will be very strong and wonderful. In the same way, if the beginning of our life training is strong, then what will happen? Rest of our life will be very joyful and wonderful and successful. Hare Krishna. Thank you very much. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Samaveta Gaura Bhakta Vrinda ki jai. Nitai Gaura Premanande. Hari Hari Bo. Questions?
Many times we see even external people also, and we also like that. Kunti Maharaj verse comes Janmashwara Shuddha Shubhi Vidamana. So means we don't realize that we are in danger or we are not happy. And that's why we don't take so seriously to this process. So how we can do this?
Okay. Good question. If someone is a mad person, it's mad, mentally imbalanced, for him there is a difference between happiness and distress. Huh? If you put him in a five-star hotel and put him on the footpath, there is any difference? Why?
He is more self-realized. He is like.
What is the meaning of mad?
He cannot distinguish.
No, what is the constitutional position of a mad person? Why he is called mad?
He is not
No, he does not know who is he. He does not know his real position. Identity. Who is he? In the same way, we are also like that. We don't know who are we. If a mad person, if you ask him, who are you? He can give a lot of strange answers. In the same way, also we are giving a lot of strange answers to this question. I am this, I am that, right? I am Indian, I am human being, I am this, I am engineer, I am professional, I am IT professional, I am software engineer, I am this, I am that. So many identifications. Right or wrong? But these are not real identification. So what's our position?
Servant of
No. In that condition, what is our position?
it's not happy.
We are mad.
Mad.
Okay.
It's not.
So this whole material world is a mental asylum. So in order to be happy, what is the first step?
You are the madness.
First we have to become a normal person. Right? Come out from that madness. So in the same way, people cannot be trained in that way unless he comes out from this madness. So that's why first training Krishna gives in Bhagavad Gita to Arjuna, that you are not this body or the spirit soul. Your real identity. If that identity is understood, then everything else will follow. For that you need a doctor. Just like to cure a mad person, you need a doctor. In the same way, in our life, we need a doctor to cure our disease. So we have to approach a doctor, right or wrong, and doctor will give the medicine. And if you go through that process of treatment, then you will be cured. You will be a normal person. Then other things will follow. Okay? You cannot do by your own. You cannot be a doctor of your own treatment. You need a doctor. Right? Any other question?
I have one question regarding the choosing the ashrams of life. Suppose as we are currently out of college and right now working, so we have like two directions to go for. Like you can go for brahmachari ashram and father proceeding towards becoming a monk and taking a saffron growth, and second is like towards grihastha ashram. And suppose if your mind is staged and just by seeing the people around and your life experiences is taught you like grihastha ashram is you are fully convinced that there is no happiness in grihastha ashram in today's modern world. Lot of challenges are there and you don't want to opt that option. And
we are talking about you or others?
Yeah, this is like
This should be clear to all of them.
Yeah.
Some people may think
There is happiness.
so that's your opinion. Okay.
There is-
Okay.
So, if you are like fully convinced that grihastha ashram is not good for me and you are not ready to go for brahmacharya also, then we have to go like,
That is called confused ashram. You call Trishanku, na ghar ka na ghat ka.
But how to do this?
You should either be in the ghar or ghat. You cannot be in between. That's called irresponsible life. Vedic system never encourages irresponsible life. Human form of life is a life of responsibility. You have to take responsibility. So either you have to choose this ashram or that ashram, but it is a wrong concept. Whether you want to become a grihastha or a monk, everybody has to go through brahmacharya training. This is a foundation. It's not that, oh, brahmachari means, grihastha means no training. No. Whether you want to become a grihastha or not become a grihastha, brahmachari training is an essential part of our human form of life. Without that, you will not become a grihastha also, you will become a grihamedhi. If you don't have proper brahmacharya training or training of sense control, training of internal value system, you will become a unrestricted sense enjoyer in the name of household life. Household life does not mean unrestricted sense enjoyment. Household life means regulated sense enjoyment. So regulation is the essential principle of human form of life. Whether you are a celibate monk, whether you are a household, you are a professional, you are a businessman, you are a sannyasi, whatever you are, life has to be regulated. You understand? So your concept is not so clear. So brahmachari training takes place from the age of 5 to 25. But we don't get brahmachari training, we get babhichari training from 5 to 25 in our school and colleges. Right or wrong? They train us how to enjoy senses. Unrestricted senses. What kind of training you get? With that kind of training. So what do you expect? You cannot become brahmachari, you cannot become good brahmachari, good grihastha. Nothing. In that way you are true. But the point I am trying to make, whether you want to become a grihastha or not, some period of time, you have to go through some brahmachari training. You understand? So now, after training is over, you can choose which is suitable for your journey. What is the meaning of suitable? What helps you to go closer to Krishna? Ashram is meant to help you to come closer to Krishna. If brahmachari life helps you to come closer to Krishna, then you should choose brahmachari life. And if you think Grihastha ashram will help you to go closer to Krishna, you should go into Grihastha ashram. It's a science. It's not a sentimental approach. Oh, I have to become brahmachari. What is the meaning of brahmachari? Brahmachari means no sex life. Everything else is the same. Brahmachari life does not mean, people think of brahmachari life means no responsibility. No. They have a lot of responsibility. But what they have chosen, they will not indulge into any sex life throughout. They want to abstain completely from sex life and social life. They want to dedicate their life for Krishna and the humanity at large. They want to be the selfless servant of the society, totally renouncing his own personal and family life. That is the principle of renunciation. But a Grihastha is also a brahmachari provided he goes through regulated life. So that concept of brahmacharya is there both in brahmachari life, in Grihastha life, means regulation. So what kind of regulation? In brahmachari life, complete. You are completely free from sex life. But in Grihastha life, you can have sex life and you can have other social responsibility, but you have to go through in a regulated way. But the purpose is the same, to become detached and come closer to Krishna. So purpose is the same. Purpose of brahmacharya life is also the same, and purpose of Grihastha life is also the same. What is the purpose of human form of life? To experience Krishna consciousness, to experience love for the Lord, to come closer to Krishna. That is the purpose of human form of life. And whichever ashram will help you, you should choose that. It depends on your psychophysical nature. But naturally, most of the people like to be grihasthas. Especially in the modern society, psychophysical nature always demands to have married life. But there are some few, those who are very much interested in brahmachari life, because they feel natural in that situation of life and they feel they can dedicate more in Krishna consciousness and come closer to Krishna. So they can choose brahmachari life. It depends on the individual. Okay, but it cannot be in limbo. Neither brahmachari nor grihastha life. You cannot live in limbo. Okay, you have to choose. So choice is yours, individual choice. Somebody can help you, facilitate you in your decision making, but ultimately choice has to be made by you, nobody else. Life is yours. Okay? More confused or confusion is more clear? Thank you. Any other question?
According to Varun Puran, when we take birth, five things are almost fixed. In that part, his character is fixed as we take birth. So, during this training, how does how does it change? Because it is fixed at the time of birth only. How would your character would be? So, how does it change?
It changes depending on your surrender. According to your karma, you will be the same. But when you start the process of surrendering to the Supreme Personality of Godhead, your life will change. Just like for everyone, Grihastha life is normal. In your Kundali, everything is written that you will be a Grihastha. But you can change that. Who can change it? Process of Krishna consciousness. So Krishna says, Sarvadharman Parityajya Mamakam Saranam Braja Aham Tam Sarva Papebhyo Mokshaswami Masacha. When you surrender to the Supreme Lord, our destiny changes. Only Krishna can change our destiny, nobody else. So process of Krishna consciousness changes our life. It's very powerful. But normal process, it will be the same. It's true, you're true. But Krishna consciousness is beyond your statement. Okay?
You said that relationship with Krishna. So after coming in Krishna consciousness, we little know how to develop relationship with Krishna. So there is sometimes problem happen when we study as a I person CA or with living with family. We have to take some priority while developing relation with Krishna. There is not happening with our relationship, our willing is not met with family, then there is conflict and anxiety happens. So how can we do?
So this is your incomplete understanding of connecting with Krishna. Krishna means what? Krishna is on all inclusive. Right? But we always want to establish relationship with Krishna excluding others. That is very low level of understanding of Krishna consciousness. When someone is properly situated in Krishna consciousness, he sees everyone as a part and parcel of the Supreme Lord. So he has a cordial relationship with all living entities. Or to talk about human beings. Because he sees everyone as a part and parcel of the Supreme Lord. Vidya vinaya sampanne brahmana gobhyastini sunichaiva sapakecha pandita samadarshina. A person who has knowledge, he sees every living entity as a part and parcel of the Supreme Lord. And he sees everyone equally because they are all part and parcel of the Supreme Lord. So everybody is equal in his vision. That is called a fundamental principle of relationship, sambandha gyan. But whatever you are talking is very immature stage of understanding relationship with Krishna. You are excluding Krishna from others. It's called exclusive process. But Krishna consciousness is an inclusive process. Everybody is included. That is Krishna consciousness. Okay? When you become Krishna conscious, you have to respect your father more. When you are Krishna conscious, you have to respect your mother more. But we do the opposite. I am special now, I am great. Why? I am Krishna conscious. That shows you are not Krishna conscious. You have no understanding of Krishna consciousness. You think I am out of Maya. My parents are in Maya. I should deliver them from the clutches of Maya. This is the symptom of pride, false ego, incomplete understanding of Krishna consciousness. Okay? More you advance in Krishna consciousness, you give more respect to others, knowing they are part and parcel of the Supreme Lord. Okay, Prabhuji? Hare Krishna. Always give respect to your parents. Don't think you are greater than your parents. Clear? Happy?
Yes.
Prabhu?
One question you already answered.
Really? I am so...
Actually, same question I also had. One question. I actually have two questions.
Yeah.
First question you already answered. Second is that how do we balance ourselves between both? This is Krishna consciousness is also important. It is the most important actually. But for survival here, we need to be like more concentrated on our this material job also. So it's like we are concentrating on the Krishna consciousness more. This goes here. We are doing this more consciously. The Krishna consciousness goes here. How do we balance that?
Okay.
Because
That is the life of a yogi, not the life of a bhogi. Bhogi's life is imbalanced life.
yeah.
And a yogi's life, I understood your question. A yogi's life is a balanced life. So balance means what? You have to be balanced. So balance means balance between body, mind and soul.
Like what should we do?
I tell you. I am answering. Don't be so excited. So, when you have a balance between body, subtle body and the soul, then you experience happiness. And journey also becomes very smooth. So now, we have our spiritual duty, we have our family duty, social duty. Many duties we have. So you have to make a balance of these duties. You understand? So, Bhaktivinoda Thakur said that we have to give time accordingly. He said we have to give 8 hours time for the body, 8 hours time for the soul, and 8 hours time for the duty. So we have to make a balance. And when you make a balance, everything will become very wonderful. So a yogi is like that. Make a balance. Time management is talked about by Bhaktivinoda Thakur. So he is the original management coach. How to allocate time in our life. Time management, right? We hear so many seminars. This is the essence of time management. Balance. We need nourishment of the body, we need nourishment of the soul, and we also perform our duty to survive in this world. So you have to make a balance. Okay? But with the common understanding. What is the purpose of our balance? Kidhar jana hai? Now you are in a car, everything is balanced. So tires are very nicely balanced. The petrol is there in the car. Everything inside is very nicely decorated. Driver is also in a good condition. But you don't know where to go. Then meaningless. Meaningless balanced life. So balanced life will be meaningful when you know the purpose of life. The same way, journey will be meaningful when you know the destination. A journey, what is the main purpose of a journey? To have nice train, nice plane, nice car. That is the purpose of journey. What is the purpose of journey? Destination. I want to go from Bangalore to Mumbai. If that is clear, then everything will be clear. In the same way, in our human form of life, we have to know what is our destination, where to go, what is the purpose of our life. If that is clear, then if you establish your life in that way, then life balancing will be meaningful. Just like a student, his purpose of life is to study. So he has to make a life in such a way, balanced way, so that he becomes a good student. He study well. Then the purpose of student life is meaningful. In the same way, we have to know what is the purpose of human form of life. And keeping that purpose at the front, then if you make a balance, then life will be meaningful. Okay? Answer is clear or? Any more question? Because Bhoga offering is going on. Yes.
What if in the house they are not favorable for the coming here and for chanting for devotional life?
So what's your question?
Question is
It is online, right? No problem.
so
If the family members are not favorable,
yeah, so how to manage?
how to manage
We
it?
have to also respect them and also
I already answered.
we respect them more, but they will disturb us by chanting.
No, slowly they will also understand. You are not committing any crime. You are not disturbing anybody. By practicing Krishna consciousness, you are not disturbing anybody. Right? You are doing good. It's a good activity. It's not illegal. It's not immoral. It's not harming anyone. So what's wrong with it? So there is nothing wrong to practice spirituality. But relatives have fear in India. What is the fear?
They leave house and never come back.
Yeah. That is the fear. So don't give that fear to them. Always say that I am always with you. I will be always with you. If that fear is gone, then why they will disturb you? You are an individual. They are also individual. How you lead your life? And you are leading a very good and meaningful life. Why? Slowly, they will also understand. Provided if you maintain the principle of life nicely, then they will appreciate. They know also this is a good, but they have that fear. because family members are having a bondage of love. So they feel he will be with us, but they don't understand whether he becomes monk or he becomes a professional, he will not be with them. They don't realize that. I don't know why, but they should realize that. Which nowadays in the cosmopolitan or globalization, who stays with the parents? Very rare. Very difficult. So staying with the parents physically is not practical even if you are not a monk. Right? So that consideration should not be the big consideration. We have to see that I am doing right. If you are convinced you are doing right, people will also understand that you are doing right. But in that process of doing right, you should not have some disrespectful attitude towards your parents and relatives. You should be very respectful to them, because we are supposed to be grateful to them, because we have got this body because of them. So we got this education because of them. We should be grateful. A devotee is always grateful. So we should not forget whatever has been done to us. Ungrateful people cannot be Krishna conscious. Okay? But little bit of disturbance will always be there. It can be from the family members, it can be from your colleagues, it can be from anybody, because this world is the world of disturbance. Whether you are a monk or not monk, disturbance will be there. Right or wrong? So, don't feel disturbed. Change your attitude of life. That life will be without disturbances. That is the wrong attitude you have. There will be always disturbances, whether you lead a life of a monk, whether you lead life of a professional, businessman, politicians, whatever field you choose in your life, there will be always some disturbances. So we have to deal with it and carry on in our life and make our life meaningful and successful. Okay? Yes?
Means it is my perspective of life, like living this many years, 25 years, I feel that pain has become more relevant in my mind. Like life is all about pain.
Pain.
Like pain and happiness is there. So more weightage goes to pain, because like it is more part of the life. Happiness we forget, means I forget. So there it has become like a perception that always I have to undergo pain. Life is ahead also, pain will be there. Anything I do, it will be like painful. So means how to get out of that, how to get balance between that.
Pain and happiness. Wow, what a question you asked. Wonderful question. So when you are, for example, hypothetical example, that you bought a Lamborghini, no? You bought a Lamborghini car, okay, or a Rolls Royce car, okay, brand new, just came out from the showroom, and as soon as it came out, an accident. Your Lamborghini broke down. You'll feel pain. But you're in the car, nothing has happened to you. You're safe, not hospitalized. But there will be pain or not? What is the pain?
Car is broken.
So, you're not broken. Car is broken. But who is getting the pain? I'm giving some life example. Who is getting the pain? So now, another example. You are in the same Lamborghini, not Lamborghini, some other car, because Uber does not use Lamborghini, right? So Uber, you are in Uber, and Uber, that car got an accident. What will happen to you? Take another Uber and goes to your destination. No pain. Why?
It is not my.
So pain is not coming from the car. Pain is coming from your attachment. is my car. So you are not getting the pain, but you are experiencing the pain because of your attachment. So this world is the world of accidents. Whether you are in Lamborghini or whether you are in Maruti, accident will be there. And there will be many reasons to experience pain. Why? Because we are not addressing the root cause of our pain. Activities are not giving us pain. Our attachment is giving us pain. So human form of life is meant to learn how to respond to the situation in our life. And fundamental principle is detachment from our situations, which is not in our control. But we want to keep the situations under our control. That is the cause of our pain. That's why Krishna told Arjuna, fight, but don't be attached, whether you will be victorious or defeat. So, victory or defeat does not give you pain or pleasure. Attachment to that victory or defeat gives you pain or pleasure. So you have to learn to work without attachment, which is not our control anyway. So why to be attached? So that's why the basic foundational principle of detachment is taught in our student life in Vedic system. But we are not taught like that, we are not trained like that. Small things give us pain. Okay? So we have to change our attitude. Situations are going to be painful only. Not for you, for each one of us. Because this world is the world of pain. So we have to learn how to have the journey without being disturbed by these painful situations of life. Okay, that is the basic principle of Krishna consciousness. 2 बज गया. You should end now. Everything is ready? Okay, thank you. Nice meeting all of you and have a wonderful experience with all of you and hope to meet you again in the future. Hare Krishna. Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Samaveta Bhakta Binda ki jai, Nitai Gaura Premanande, Hari Hari Bo.